here's my model in SketchUp, and I've started to apply some textures. Probably recommend that you apply more, but this is just a demonstration for now. So we need to save as, and we need to go save as type version 6, and I've got a folder in my documents 134 DigiDesign, and here we go, project 2 model 01. So save that, and then I can close that down and open up Deep Exploration. So it'll be under your start menu in all programs, and when it opens up, we've got standard sort of Windows Explorer interface. So we've got file structure on the left, and then models here, and then we've got some other pieces, textures, shaders, materials, and some symbols if we need. Materials and textures you'll probably be using, and obviously local. So by default it goes to my documents, and we want to go to 134. So you need to find your documents, and we can come down and have a look in here. So 3D files, it splits the files up, and here's the one that we just made. And the good thing about Deep Exploration is it opens that model natively. So you can see right at the top the file path, and it kept it as a SketchUp file. So rather than importing it, it's brought it in as a different, opened it as a SketchUp file, and then now we can come in here and start adding sort of different qualities to the textures. So we've got this one, and this is where it's really important. You can see I've grouped everything to make sure that you group the elements. So this piece is a texture that I brought in. So if I double click on it, we get the properties information, and we've got the property here, and then under materials, so we've got, here's the plastic that I brought in. So if I double click on that, we can then, and it's a bit of trial and error, so we can adjust and affect reflection, specular level, so and if you want it glossy or matte, and refraction as well, and if we want to adjust, I've decided I want to scale some of the texture, so I can come in here and adjust how that sort of moves around, and there's some other pieces if you're interested in to explore adding different sort of bump maps and opacity elements to them as well. So go okay, I've adjusted it slightly. So you can do that for other ones. So here, if I come in here, we've got a whole lot of materials in this object, so you might need to sort of figure out which ones. So basic, so that's a green, it's not, that's on the inside. Number 2 is the red, number 5 is the grey, and I want to give that some reflection. So by default you can see it's set to 0, so I can click and drag up. I want that to be sort of quite reflective, not too reflective, and go okay, and use the left mouse button to adjust how you look at it, and if you hold down shift in the left, you can then sort of get that vertical again, so that can be quite useful. If you want, you can view, is it going to work? No, there is ability to add, save some of the views, and I'll show that in another video tutorial. But for now, set those set the view you want, and come in and hit the render properties. So you can find it in the toolbar, or you can come up to render and then go render properties as well. Check the size, and to start with, just as a draft, doing this what's on the screen is fine. And ray trace, make sure that's set to adaptive and that you have soft shadows set as well. And then go OK. Go back to output. Just check we've got all the settings fine. So if you want the RGB is a transparent background, we can set that to be just without a transparent background, depending on what you're doing. So if we render that, so what happens is it will go through and render. I've lost it. And that sort of shows you what's going on and how fast it's going. And you can see usually it'll go in two passes, and we're putting them over top of each other. And you can see the reflective quality starting to happen in the black shape at the end. Trick is not to make things too reflective because it'll take longer to render. Check the website. I'll put up a final recommended size to render your images out at, and that'll be on the blog. So here it's coming in on the second pass, and basically it's just adding in and refining the image. So you can see below it's a bit rough. Now it's sort of smoothing it all out. And this is just very quick, worth having a look at the help and going through and playing with some of the toys and seeing tools so you can see what's going on and experiment with what you can actually get out of the computer software. So, and it's nearly done. So while it's you can see the second pass is a lot slower. Just see, so it's 60% complete, and really getting in and getting those reflections happening. And it may take 3 or 4 goes to get the view rendered correctly. You might need to go back and adjust some of the textures, and make sure you look at the tutorials on the blog regarding how to actually set everything up. This video is just a quick overview, and we're nearly there. Once you're finished, we can come down and save. So it's nearly done. Should speed up a bit now. We're down the bottom. So there it is, nearly complete. And now if we want, we can save that, and it comes up, and here's my digital design, and make sure you save it in some sort of format that makes sense to you, so you can come back and get it later. If you want just a sort of archive image, JPEG works really well. If you want transparent background or high quality image, do the TIFF files, and the settings are all just use the default, and then hit save. So then now we've got that image, so have a play and see what views you can come out with.